Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this live Q&A on our LLM programs here at the University of Glasgow. My name is Dr. James Devaney. I'm a senior lecturer in international law here at the university, and I'm also the program convener for the LLM in international law. In today's session, we're lucky to be joined by two current LLM students who are going to share some of their experiences about the LLM at Glasgow and also maybe answer some of your questions as well. So why don't we go ahead and get started then? And if I might, could we kick off just by asking our students to introduce themselves, tell us your name, which program you are doing, your nationality, and anything else you think our listeners might need to know. The first person on my screen is Leah. Can we start with you, please?
Yeah, so hi, I'm Leah, and I am on the International Law and Security LLM pathway, and I am from England, so UK.
Great. And Disha?
Hi, my name is Disha. I'm from India and I'm pursuing my LLM in International Economic Law here at University of Glasgow.
Okay, so International Law and Security, International Economic Law, two of the LLM programs that we offer here. Can I ask you, Disha, why did you choose to study, first of all, at the University of Glasgow? Because I imagine that you looked at many other places as well, right? Could you maybe share with us how many places did you apply to? And then in the end, why did you decide to choose Glasgow?
So to be honest, I did not apply to a lot of places. That's just how I operate. I aim towards University of Glasgow. I sent in my applications. I sort of just crossed my fingers and I hoped it would all work out. And it did. And the only reason I applied here was this was the only place that really resonated with me during my research, objectively and, just intuitively. Objectively because of its high ranking, I mean, it goes without saying. Then the courses that are the specialized LLMs that are offered here, I spent some time looking at them. And economic law was something, international economic law was something that really resonated with me from the point of view of what I want to do with my future. And also what I really wanted to learn and study during my master's program. And of
Great,
course, I mean, I often tell my friends, a good witch has to go to Hogwarts. So you had to come to Hogwarts.
Okay, great. Thank you. Same question to you.
So I did my undergrad here, and I just fell in love with the city and the uni and the law school. I think during my undergrad, it was like the breadth of classes and the breadth of expertise, because I did law and history. And then I made the decision to then come back to do my master's because there were so many different options for LLM pathways, and I really wanted to use everything that I learned in my undergrad and specialize. And yeah, I just love the city. Everyone's really lovely, and the uni is so supportive, and yeah, so it's so good that I came back.
Okay, great. So two different experiences in that respect then, right? So Leah, you already having been here for your undergrad and deciding to stay on, and Disha, you joining, coming from a bit further away as well. We're now at the point of the academic year where I guess exams are done, or if not completely done, almost done. So I think we can already maybe look back and reflect on how the academic year has been since it started for you in September. And Disha, can you maybe tell us what's been your favorite thing about this academic year so far, about the LLM?
So, I mean, that's a very good question for me because honestly, it's and also very difficult at the same time, because there are so many things I love about the university and my program that I don't know if if a 5-minute answer or 2-minute answer is enough. But starting out, firstly, the university is just spectacular. When you my first impression was I felt very welcomed the minute I walked onto the campus grounds. And when I started with my preparation for my classes, which by the way one has to, it's an LLM program, you have to read before the first seminar, which is, I mean, bit of a shocker but amazing. I loved how the courses were designed. I loved how I had the freedom to choose exactly what I wanted to study. And I mean, it's a running joke in my friend circle that I try to make my life as difficult as possible. So while I was studying international economic law and international investment law, I've always been drawn to climate change and sustainability and finance. So I had the choice to put all of that together and really design my own course. And in my opinion, it all flows very well. And I don't know if another place would have afforded me that opportunity to really, tailor my educational experience like that. And other than that, I mean, I love how the classes went. I love everything about the course.
Great. No, that's good to hear that you didn't feel like you were constrained only to doing international economic law subjects, that you also were able to pursue other things that you were interested in, because I think that's true for most people, right? We're not just focused on one thing, and we maybe have, if not an academic interest, maybe a personal interest in other areas as well. And I think having, to do 6 courses over the course of the academic year gives you the chance to also branch out a bit and try other things. And Leah, what about you? Maybe compared to the LLB, like what have you enjoyed about this year on the LLM?
I think with the LLM, it's the focus on independence, and really, as Disha said, it's you study what you're interested in. You're guided amazingly by your lecturers. But if you are particularly interested in a particular field, then that's up to you to go and look at, and you're supported to do that. And there's very different approaches to learning. It's not just lectures or just seminars. It's a mix with some classes I did presentations, and other classes we did more interactive. We were like a game-like situation when we did human rights law. So lots of different ways to interact with the content, which has been really good. And also the breadth and different types of courses. I studied transnational criminal law this year, which is an area of law that I didn't know anything about before this year, and I found that really, really interesting. But yeah, the LLM is it's broad and specialized enough that you can get out of it what you want to get out of it, which is really good. And unlike in your LLB, you are constrained to a certain amount to what courses you can take and things like that. But you really have a lot of power in your LLM to do what you're really interested in and passionate about.
Yeah, I like that idea that it's both broad and focused at the same time. And I suppose you're both about to start really focusing on your dissertations over the summertime as well, right? And that's something that is different about the LLM. You will have now this period of independent research where you will have, in these nice sunny summer months, or as sunny as it gets for Glasgow anyway, you'll have the time just to sit down and read and think for these next few months about something, a topic that you have chosen, something that you want to do much more extensive research on. And that's something that you do during the summer compared to the LLB, where the dissertation is done during the year. So you get a bit more time to breathe and a bit more time to think and explore in a bit more detail, which I think I personally appreciated. I remember when I was doing the LLM at Glasgow back in the day. I wanted to then maybe ask a bit about experiential learning opportunities, and maybe just ask if you've had the opportunity to do anything like this so far this year. Maybe starting again with Disha.
So, as far as experiential learning opportunities are concerned, I feel like the whole program was quite experiential for me. The fact that it is so research oriented and the discourse, classroom discourse is so, I mean, it's not just appreciated, it is encouraged. That's just how the learning experience here is and what one would expect of, you know, advanced education at a university like ours. Other than that, I've had the chance to be a part of Lawyers Without Borders and the Law Society, and again, just to have the opportunity to, be a part of a lot of interactive sessions that we have, welcoming industry experts from various fields. I mean, I of course focused on the international law arena. I'm guessing so did Leah. But we've got people from all sects of the industry, whether it's law firms or the public sector or the third sector NGOs. We've had the chance to hear their experiences and discuss recent issues with them. Have a very open academic discussion, and I feel like that was a very good platform for my cohort to learn beyond the classroom as well. So I think that's something that
Great, thanks.
I've really appreciated.
And what about you, Leah?
So I took part in the Jessup International Moot competition this year, which was amazing. And so it's a competition in which you present an ICJ, mock ICJ case. So you produce both oral and written submissions, and it was an incredible experience. We did the national rounds in London, and then we were very lucky to then have gone on through to the international rounds in Washington. And yeah, it was an incredible experience. Not only did it enhance like my substantive legal knowledge, but also advocacy skills. And it's something that I hadn't done much before. But, legal speaking and delivery and court etiquette and just applying the law and thinking about it in different ways is really helpful, and it helped with my uni work and also helped with applying for interviews and things, because it was an amazing experience just to think about the law and international law in a different way, which it was really good.
If I may just
Yeah, I
chime
mean,
in.
I think it's sure.
Sorry, if I may just chime in. I mean, Leah, the Jessup is the dream. It's the dream mood, and I mean, we're so proud of you. And I think all of us saw how well the team did. I wish I could have even applied for it, but I'm admitted at the bar, and it's the only time I have regretted being admitted at the bar, honestly. So congratulations again. That's just fantastic.
Thank you very much. We're all very proud of ourselves, and we had an amazing team. We had amazing we that supported us all the way.
We were all watching back here. We were all keeping track of, how the team is going, how it's going. So I think everybody was really proud of the team. Yeah, so well done.
That's very nice of you to say. And Jessup is, of course, not the only mooting competition. There's also the Wilhelm Vis moot as well, which University of Glasgow participates in. And I know that one of my colleagues has big plans for mooting at Glasgow. So if anyone is thinking about coming to Glasgow and wants to participate in different moot competitions in the future, maybe about space law moot, for example, or international humanitarian law, I think that's certainly a conversation that we're open to having to support that kind of mooting activity in the future, because I think it really does add something that you don't get from sitting in a classroom and listening or even engaging in seminars. So that's certainly something that we're proud of this year's Jessup team, but we also want to do more of in the future. So what about, and I'm almost sort of afraid to ask this question because and it might stress you, but what about after the LLM? Like how do you think doing the LLM has prepared you for what comes next? And if you're comfortable sharing could you maybe give us an idea about what you're thinking about doing next after the LLM? Leah?
Thank you.
Yes, so I'm planning to do the bar course to qualify in England and Wales next year. So just waiting to hear back about that at the moment. And I think the uni and the breadth of knowledge that I gained from doing University of Glasgow degrees has been amazing. So many different opportunities and experiences that I could talk about. You know, the Jessup being one of them, but also during my undergrad, there were, you know, there's the Go Justice Challenge, there's other volunteering opportunities. So I think Glasgow is really, really focused on, you know, giving you the environment to explore and to thrive, and so many different opportunities. And I think because the course that does require you to be inquisitive and to critically think, and it has made me better able to adapt my learning and to be more, you know, well-rounded in my research abilities as well. So many different skills I've gotten through this year to help with applications for things.
Great. And what about you, Disha?
So, to be honest, I haven't really narrowed down on exactly what I want to do. But one thing is for sure, being here has really opened my mind up to a lot of opportunities that I did not even know existed before coming here, and did not even know existed in the field of study that I was doing. Um, since my main area of focus is economic governance, economic laws, and I also really like climate and sustainability. So I would like to find a policy making role that sort of comes at the intersection of the two. But at the same time, I love international arbitration. I've loved being a lawyer for a long time. So, um, I mean, the door is open. I could get qualified in the UK again and do that. Also, having said that, the research that I've done in the 2 semesters here and the research I'm really looking forward to do for my dissertation has really wanted me to want to study more. So maybe a PhD is in the cards in a couple of years, or maybe next year. I don't know. But one thing is for sure, something will work out. And it's just a matter of, I think, me deciding and being at the right place at the right time, at the right opportunity. But I feel like the course has equipped me well enough to enter a workforce and be, you know, malleable enough to learn, but also be able to contribute. So it's, I mean, it's a work in progress. It's so hard to say. Even when you are actually working, you learn every day. As I mean, we've all experienced that in our own capacities. So I don't think that's something. I'm honestly not worried about that.
No, no, no. And I think that's a really great answer, because it sort of touches on really a range of things that people with LLMs might go on to do. As you mentioned, you know, further research, as I did after the LLM, going on to do the PhD and eventually becoming an academic, or going to do policy work, maybe for NGOs, as you mentioned, or, you know, having that qualification to then go into practice. Because I think many big firms would look to applicants who have LLMs from top-ranking universities like the University of Glasgow, who have done interesting courses, hopefully like the ones that we offer as well. So I'm not worried either. I think you have maybe just too many possibilities rather than not enough. But I'm sure you'll figure out
Fingers crossed.
what to do. Yeah. So again, another tricky question, and bear in mind that I'm from Glasgow, so you have to be careful about what you say here. But what did you like about the city of Glasgow when you were living here? Because I know some people might have some impressions of Glasgow as being cold, rainy place, but and I think that's true to a large extent. But maybe if you could just give us some of your reflections on what it's been like living in the city. How is it to get around? How is it in terms of food? How are the people? How is the public transport? How is the cost of living? These types of things. I think a lot of prospective LLM students are thinking about when they're trying to choose between different unis. Leah?
Yeah, so I love the city, and yes, it can
That's
be
the right
cold.
answer.
Yes, it can be very cold, but everyone here is really welcoming. They're really kind, polite, and in terms of, you know, getting around and things like that, the city's really well bussed, and it's got an incredible subway system. Everywhere is relatively walkable as well. There's also lots of beautiful parks, and we're very close to, you know, the Highlands with, you know, Loch Lomond and national parks. So Glasgow is in a really lovely location. Yeah, the city is great, and food, yes, food is good, especially things like takeaways and stuff. I tried a deep fried Mars bar the first time that I moved here, which I do recommend. It's very nice. But yeah, you'll have. It's a beautiful city. It's an eclectic city. It's a diverse city. You'll meet so many different people, and yeah, I do recommend living in Glasgow.
Great. And what about you, Tisha? What would you add?
I love how you said eclectic. That's the right word for it. I love Glasgow as well, to be honest. And I love the city. I love the architecture, and it's very well connected. But at the same time, I mean, when you're just coming here as a student, it's not such a big problem. I mean, everything is well connected. This is the world we live in. What I love about Glasgow is the people. And I think that's also a city tagline: people make Glasgow. People are very warm, welcoming, unpretentious. And I also really appreciate, for my own sake as well, that they have a great sense of humor. And you know, they just love to laugh. They take life as it is, and they make you feel at home. You're never going to feel like that you've just come to a completely remote place, or a place that you wouldn't miss home after a while. I didn't, absolutely not. And yeah, I've had a great time living here. Like Leah said, beautiful parks. As far as food is concerned, there isn't a global cuisine you cannot find here. There's too much to eat, in fact, and there's too much to eat too close by. So that's a dietary choice you're going to have to make. It's not going to be a problem. Living expenses is a global economy issue. But at the same time, there are part-time jobs for students, which I'm doing one myself. I would encourage anybody who can, with the course load, take on a part-time job. I think not only will it help you live a less stressed life in terms of your budget, but also add to just a lot of skills. I mean, it's great to be able to experience jobs within your industry or outside. So you can do that, figure out your money, and I think it's a great adventure. I mean, um, I always say this is the best decision of my life to come to Glasgow and the University of Glasgow. So I'm very happy.
Great, very glad to hear that. And I mean, I think you kind of gave a bit of advice there, and your answer to my last question about if you can think about getting a job and give you some spending money, and also maybe give you a different perspective on the city. I wonder if you would have any other advice for students who will be joining the uni in September. So if you could maybe go back in time and speak to you last September now, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give? And I'll start with Leah and give you a bit more time to think of more advice to offer, Disha.
I think the biggest one would be to take part in try and take part and try out all the opportunities that the university has to offer, not just in your subject area in the legal field, because there are so many different opportunities. There's so many different law societies and Lawyers Without Borders, but also other extracurricular things. The uni has so many different societies to offer. I did a cappella this year as well as my LLM, and just have something fun to do that is really a break from your studies. There's so many different options for you to explore new hobbies. I think, and then I would also say to ask for help as well if you need it. The uni has so many different support services, from employment, from mental health to housing to, there's so many different support services here at Glasgow that they're there to help you. You're never going to be alone. And the uni's here to support you and to offer opportunities, and don't be afraid to ask and take advantage of that.
Great, thanks, Leah. And Disha?
I agree with everything Leah just said, especially the fact that there is so much to do on campus. And just a word of warning, when you just walk in, as I did last September, of course, I was excited, but right on the first day of Welcome Week, which is the first week of induction, when everybody's going to come in, it is overwhelming with how much you can do. It's like too many windows, too little time. How much can you get done in this university? How much you can learn? How much fun you can have, to be very honest. And just the opportunities are endless. So don't be overwhelmed. Keep an open mind. When you come in, look around, enjoy your Welcome Week. And like Leah said, the university is really supportive, whether it is the student body. I'm a student rep myself. I don't know how supportive I am. We'll have to ask my cohort, but I try. There is a student body, and of course the staff. There's a student support office as well. There is special support for international students. Everybody is just an email away. Don't be afraid to ask. And even when you're on campus, just the next person you see, okay, let me back up a little. The minute you get out of Hillhead Station, you're on University of Glasgow grounds. Anybody from there till the university, all the way to Kelvin Bridge, is, you can assume, a University of Glasgow student or somebody who knows the university. So you're practically at home the minute you're out of the subway. So there's nothing to be afraid of. Just take it as a new adventure and do the best you can, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's of course you could do a second master's, but I would still say it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And just sit down, think about what's important to you, prioritize. Don't be afraid to change your mind as well. I would say this is a year to reinvent. On a separate note and a more serious note, if you have the opportunity to interact with your professors in class, which you will, make the most of it. Talk as much as you can, ask as many questions as you can, because where else are you going to get the opportunity to bounce off your ideas from a legitimate, certified, authorized expert on a subject? You cannot ask Google. They can't tell you. You have to bounce off your ideas with the best people that are available to you, and just engage as much as you can. That is what will set your degree, above just the paper, even if you get great grades. Because for me, I feel the interactions I've been able to have with my professors in class, outside of class, is what has changed me. And I would just say that, and just be ready to have a lot of fun. And the student body buildings, and I don't want to spoil it for you. You'll come here and see. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Wonderful, thank you. And I would definitely second that. When you come to Glasgow, throw yourself in and engage with us as your teachers as well, because we love students who come with questions and who are curious, and we're always happy to engage in heated discussions and to explore topics together. I think, seeing as I don't see any burning questions in the chat, I just thank Leah and Disha very, very much for giving up their time to come and speak to us today. I think you'll agree that they were great. And this was very helpful, and hopefully there was a lot of information there for you to help you to make your mind up about coming to Glasgow and joining us in September. The recording of this event will be available here if anyone wants to come and rewatch a bit that they missed. And if anybody else wants to learn more about studying law at Glasgow, you can always visit our YouTube channel to view the program overviews for each of the LLM programs and see other student videos that we've made. For example, Leah has made one with the Jessup team about her Jessup experience, which is now available on YouTube and which is worth checking out. And you can also connect with other students to find out what it's like to study at Glasgow using UniBuddy as well. So I will just say thank you very much again to Leah and to Disha, and thank you to you for joining us today. And very much hope to welcome you on campus next academic year here in Glasgow.